Hello everyone, welcome back. As you can see by the title and the thumbnail of this video, we are talking about all of the books that I want to read this spring. It is starting to get warm in Northeast Ohio, so I am feeling in the mood. So let's talk all of the books that I want to read this spring. Some of these books have rhymes, some of these books have reasons, some of these books are just because I want to. So we are going to talk about physical books first. Never by Jessa Hastings. I still need to take this freaking sticker off, but not really springish, but I want to read it this spring. The cover is beautiful. It gives me like springish vibes, especially with her and her dress. What's her name? Daphne? Yeah, Daphne and her dress on this front cover. It just is giving me spring vibes, so I definitely want to read this one this spring. This one, Daphne is in Neverland, and who does she want to be with originally? Peter. Who does she end up falling in love with? Captain Hook's son. What's his name? Jameson. Ooh, that's a pretty name. Jameson. Anyway, so Daphne falls for Jameson, which is Captain Hook's son. So, toxic, maybe morally gray. Count me in. Count me in. So this is a book that I want to read this spring. Next book on my list, once again, some of these have rhymes, some of these has reasons, some of these are just because. Anxious People by Fredrik Backman. I still haven't read this one. I got it for Christmas like 2 years ago. It's just been sitting on my shelf, and I want to read this. Once again, don't even think this takes place in the spring. Yeah, it doesn't say what season, like, it gives. Who says that we have to read books when they're in season? Nobody. So, once again, these are just books that I want to read this spring. Some of them are books that give spring vibes. But this one, I just want to read. I just want to read. It's been on my shelf for way too long. Going on the list. Next, this was one of the picks that me and my sister-in-laws had for a buddy read, and we ended up not choosing it. Its cover gives off fallish vibes, but also kind of springy. Funny Feelings by Tarah Dewitt, or Tarah. Spelled with an H. I feel like it's Tarah. Anyway, this one has been on my list once again for way too long. I've not picked it up. Oh, Farley! That's such a cute name too. So many cute names in these books. 10 out of 10. Yeah. It's Friends to Lovers. And Fake Dating. Yeah, this one is definitely going on my list for books to read this spring, even though the cover gives me fall vibes, but I think it'll be fine regardless. I'm excited for this one. The cover is too cute. Next, one of the only Emily Henry books that I have not read, Beach Read. Now, I know that this book is going to shatter me in half. How do I know that? Because every Emily Henry book shatters me in half. This one, though, I've heard is so sad. So, maybe not a beach read, contrary to popular belief. So I will be reading this in the comfort of my home this spring, not at the beach with my family. Nope. This one is Augustus Everett. He is our main male character. He is an acclaimed author of literary fiction. In January, Andrews, which is our female main character, writes best-selling romance. Two authors, please. The only thing they have in common is that for the next 3 months they're living in a neighboring beach house. Broke, am bogged down with writer's block. Coming from someone who is currently writing their own book, writer's block is real. Writer's block is real. It's not a myth. It's not a myth. But they strike a deal designed to force them out of their creative ruts. Yes! And they both end up finishing their book, but do they fall in love? I don't know. I don't know. This one's going on my list. Now, this one was one of the library picks that I got for my birthday for the $5 fill-a-bag. This one is called Hello Sunshine. 1 Year, One Dream, No Clue. This is such a cute cover. Also, look at this, the spine. Look at the spine of this book, though. It's so cute. But yeah. So I believe that she is a actor. And I guess this is, the back of this is talking about pretty much her audition and whoever is in there with her. She's an actor. She's an actor. So this book might actually be more interesting than I had anticipated, especially because I live this life. I audition a lot, so this might actually be interesting. I've never really read the back of this. The cover is just really cute. Am I that person? Maybe. Maybe. This is going on my list. Last but not least of the physical books, I have had this one on my list for way too long, and it is a beautiful edition, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I don't know why I haven't read this yet. I really don't. I really don't know. But yeah, look, hold on. I'm going to take the dust jacket off. Look at how beautiful. And it's got a ribbon bookmark, so I definitely need to pick this one up. Once again, don't know why it's taken me as long as it has, but it has. So yeah, this one's definitely being picked up this spring. I can't wait any longer. I need it. And also, oh my gosh, this book is beautiful. Beautiful. Let's talk Kindle books that I want to read. Books that are on my Kindle that I want to read this spring. One of the really anticipated books that I want to read is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I do not have this in a physical copy. I'm sure I'll probably end up with a physical copy, but I think I'm going to read it on my Kindle first. This one is a swimming romance. I've not really read, I think a lot of my romances are hockey and football related. So a swimming related romance might actually be interesting because I've not read one before. So that could be fun. And I also love Ali Hazelwood, so that one needs to go on my list anyway. Another book that I want to read for the spring is The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. I read the cheat sheet and Practice Makes Perfect. I have not read the rule book yet, and I loved the cheat sheet so much. So I need to read this one so bad. I, once again, don't know why I've been waiting so long. I've got just the TBR the size of Mount Everest is my problem. Another book that I would like to read this spring is Mrs. Nash's Ashes. This one I saw Haley Pham. She read this book, I believe, and she didn't have bad things to say. So I would like to try this one. So basically the story, it's starry-eyed romantic, a cynical writer, and the ashes of an elderly woman. They take a trip of a lifetime, and this just seems like such a fun and interesting book because what do you mean? What do you mean, Mrs. Nash's Ashes? I need to read that book. And I believe the last book on my want to read for this spring is, where is it? The last book that I want to read this spring, I finally found it, is Love and Gelato. This has been on my TBR since, oh geez, 2023. Why I've not picked it up yet, I don't know. I literally have the book on my Kindle. I own it on my Kindle and I've not picked it up. So, those are all of the books that I want to read this spring. I am so excited for the warm weather and the leaves to come back to the trees and to sit outside with a good book in hand. That is what I am looking forward to. So, if you guys liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment downstairs. Make sure you turn on your notifications. And did I already say subscribe? Subscribe anyway. I'll say it multiple times. Just subscribe. Just subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.